So this video is for those of you who might be experiencing some sadness, and possibly you wake up in the morning and you feel this like overwhelm of sadness just kind of hit you, and it almost feels like it's immediate. And two things can happen. Either the sadness feels like something that's old, like it feels like there's this residue energy that you're familiar with, that your body's accustomed to like feeling, but you don't really know why. Or it can actually be because of something in particular that you know exactly why it's happening. That could be you lost a job the day before, or maybe there was an issue that happened with a friend, or maybe you and your partner had a fight or a breakup. There's a situation that you can definitely connect the sadness to. So, two things can happen. You can either have a very direct experience of why you're sad, or maybe you're feeling sad and you don't really know why. So, it doesn't matter which one it is that you're feeling, but if you're starting to notice that you're feeling sad maybe more than one morning out of the week, this is a perfect tool for you. And so, what I recommend you doing is maybe even having a picture of yourself as a young girl. And so, you can maybe be the age of anywhere from 1 years old all the way up to maybe 10, 11, or 12, even. If you have a photo that's printed out, you can literally, especially if you live by yourself, or even if you do share a bed with someone, maybe you can have it on one of your other nightstands that's closer to where you sleep. But you place it there. So when you wake up in the morning and you're feeling this like heaviness of sadness take over you can actually look at this picture. And the reason the picture is there is because hopefully it can ignite some compassion. It can ignite that the sadness is not just you. And so that's really what we're going for here, is to be able to look at the sadness. So if we can actually look and hold a photo of ourselves at a really young age, typically our mind has such deep compassion for young people, for children, and especially for the part of us that was younger. And so seeing this child as a photo of yourself as a child, you can experience the sadness in your body. And I want you to have deep compassion, like allowing yourself to feel sad without judging it, without making it mean something bad about you. You can literally wake up in the morning and feel like, oh, there goes that sadness again. And actually bring in an intentional breath, like actually deeply inhale and do a deep exhale out the mouth. And while you do that, and maybe you do a few rounds of deep inhale, deep exhalation, and with these rounds of inhales and exhales, I'm really wanting you to imagine that every time you do a deep inhale, it's almost as if you're sending a very tender touch, a tender hug, a loving embrace to this young version of you that you're looking at the photo. So you bring in a deep inhale and then exhale out the mouth. And it's almost like there's a tender touch with that inhale and exhale. Like there's this compassionate, warm embrace. And so as you do that, I want your inhale to soothe and to nourish the sadness in your body, to almost like it's energetically telling your sadness, I still love you. There's nothing wrong with you. You do not need to change in order for me to love you. And that's why you're going to have this physical picture. And so you're going to hold this picture and do those inhales. And this could just literally take 2 minutes. It doesn't need to take a long time. If you have more time, perfectly amazing. You can take more time with it, but it can be a very short practice of just a couple inhales and exhales, looking at your photo and just allowing yourself to be where you are. And looking at that picture of you at the age of 8 or 10 years old. And with each inhale and exhale, almost like you're saying to yourself, you still deserve love. It's like imagining a little girl, like you as a little girl that was having a bad day and was sad. Does that little girl still deserve to be loved? Does that little girl still deserve to be seen? Does she still deserve a hug from her mom? Does she still deserve a kiss? Does she still deserve her mom's eyes to be gazing on her like, I love you so deeply? Yes, she does. And so we're going to give ourselves that same compassion that we would imagine that little girl of us would need as well if she was sad. That sadness in us does not need judgment, just like that 8-year-old version of us in that photo didn't need to be judged if she was having a hard day or if she was sad about her losing her teddy bear in the bus or whatever it might be. And the same is true for ourselves. And so we can give ourselves that same compassion immediately when we wake up. That can bring deep soothing for the rest of the day. And that legit practice of having that photo next to you when you wake up, especially if you're noticing, I've been feeling sad almost every morning this week, or I feel sad almost every morning, always. Bring that photo into your room and bring in this practice of I see you, I love you, and you are perfectly fine. and just give yourself space to feel sad. And then bringing that breath of awareness, I think, can go such a long way to give you such grounding and deep compassion and deep self-love that can take you for the rest of your day.